everyone, we're going to evaluate the second derivative of each function at a given point. We actually have 4 problems. The last 2 are trig problems. So if you're interested in those instead, you can just scroll through. And the first thing we can do is take the first derivative. We're using the chain rule. So 3 times 1/9 is going to be 1/3. I'll just write 3/9 times 3, and then you write down your inner function, and then times the derivative of your inner function, and this would be squared here. And cleaning this up, you're going to get 3 times 3 is, this is 9, sorry. So all this is going to equal 1. So you're going to get 3 x plus 1 squared. There shouldn't have been an x there. Now, we have to take the second derivative of this and do the same thing. So it's going to be 2 times 3x plus 1 to the first power times the derivative of the inner function, which is just 3, and that gives you 6 times 3x plus 1. Now we want to evaluate our x. So it's going to be 6 times 3 times 1 plus 1, or 6 times 4, which is 24. Next one, first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this. So I'm just going to do f of x equals x plus 4 to negative 1/2. And then take the derivative. So it's going to be negative 1/2 times x plus 4, and this is going to be negative 3/2. And our derivative, our inner function, is just 1. So we're left with negative 1/2 x plus 4 to the negative 3/2. Now we take the second derivative, and we're going to multiply negative 3/2 times negative 1/2 times x plus 4. And we're going to subtract 1 again, which is minus 2 over 2. So that's going to be negative 5/2 times the derivative of the inner function, which is 1. So when you clean this up, we're going to get 2 negatives make a positive. So it's going to be 3 over, when you multiply those two, that's 4, times x plus 4 to the positive 5/2. Now, it's simple because we're just evaluating 0. So we don't really have to worry about this 5/2 too much. And we're just going to get 3 over 4 times 4. Yeah, we do have to do that to the 5/2. So basically what that means is 3 over 4. And we're going to first do the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And 2 to the 5th is 32. So our final answer is going to be 3 over 128. This is right there. This is like saying square root of 4 to the 5th. Okay, next one, cosine. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take the derivative, first derivative. We know the first derivative of cosine of that is going to be sine, negative sine of that. Then you take the derivative of the inner function, which is going to be 2x. So this equals negative 2x sine of x squared. Now we take the second derivative, and this is going to be the product rule. So we write down the first part, the first function, take the derivative of the second one, which is going to be derivative of sine is cosine of x squared, times the derivative of the inner function, which is 2x. And then we add the second part, so derivative of sine x squared is, well, first we just write down sine of x squared, then take the derivative of that, which is negative 2. Now let's clean this up. We're going to get a negative 4x squared cosine of x squared minus 2 sine of x squared. Now you evaluate at 0, and so when you plug in 0 here, that's just going to zero out all of this. It's going to be 0 times 1. And then this is sine of 0 is 0. So basically, the second derivative at 0 is 0. The last one we have is tangent. Okay, so we're going to take the derivative of tangent of 2t, and that's going to be derivative of tan of 2t is secant squared of 2t, and then you also take the derivative of your inner function, which is 2t. The derivative of 2t is just 2. So that's your first derivative, and then we're going to take the second derivative of t. Okay, so the second derivative of t is going to be, well, what I'm going to do is go ahead and write this as 2 secant of 2t squared. And now let's take the second derivative. So you multiply those two and you get 4 times your inner function to the first power times the derivative of your inner function. The derivative of your inner function is secant of 2t times tan of 2t. Then you also have to take a derivative of this portion, which is just 2. So what you're going to get when you multiply all this through is you're going to get, we have 2 of these. I'll multiply the 8, the 2 times the 4 is 8. So we have secant squared of 2t times tan of 2t. Now let's plug in our pi over 6. So basically what we have is 8 times secant squared, and 2 times, it's pi over 6. And this could be secant squared of 2 times pi over 6 is pi over 3. And then we're going to have tan 2 times pi over 6 is pi over 3. So, secant of, I'm going to go ahead and put the square on this one on the outside. So secant of pi over 3 is 2. So we have 2 squared. And tan of pi over 3 is square root of 3. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 8 is 32 times the square root of 3. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.